Well, it's pretty different.
Violent and tight.
It's a lot more open.
Like professional and violent.
A little bit monstrous.
It's a lot more vibey and atmospheric.
A little bit unsettling.
Twice as full on because there's all these other colours.
I know it's just been one of the most intensive things that I've ever done.
Well, you know, it's a special occasion.
Since that's the 421 and the DI. So the next thing I'm going to try is just slightly EQing the mics, get some of that noise out, to see if we can make them sit better. And if not, I think we can call it.
This is good.
Yeah.
I think we're putting the bells and whistles on. If you've got the recordings in your hands, you just need to have a human pulse to what you're listening to, I think.
Still harsh, not as harsh in context, but a bit nasal.
Oh, well, because we recorded a lot of the stuff ourselves. And that involves just capturing dry signals from the guitars and things. That gives us a lot more freedom with capturing sounds that we like.
So this is just different mic'd distortions with band.
The writing has been very different. For the first album, you know, I'd written all the tracks before most of the members had joined. So it was all my sort of narrow field of style. And now with this one, we've had Ben in the band and gone through our paces a bit in a live sense as well. The first album got us to a point of technical ability, like we pushed ourselves really hard because we had a goal in mind of the style we wanted to do. We got a lot better. Now that we got those skills, you know, floating around, we have time to sit back and go, all right, let's just concentrate on something that sounds really good.
You know, we've obviously had a lot of dramas with vocals and people coming and going.
I think I had about a list of like 50 to 60 people that were going through. Luke from Jack the Stripper was working very hard. He was actually working very hard for us, looking for people. It just happened to go, this fella's just moved down, he's just looking for a band.
Hi, we've never worked with you before. You're unfamiliar even with the style of music we play.
I was nervous as shit.
Get in, we're going to write an entire album's worth of vocals, plus getting old songs up to scratch for live shows that we're doing at the same time as our studio stuff. And we're going to do that in like 2 months, and it's going to be incredible.
I'd moved from Sydney and I wanted something to pass the time and make some friends. So I got talking to Luke from Jack the Stripper, who's a local band, and he'd praised a band called Hadal Maw that they'd had a bit of bad luck with the previous singers, just people filling in but not being able to show more commitment. I got in touch with Rob, the drummer. He showed me some of the demos that they were working on for their album #2. Blown away with like how technical it was, and knew it was going to be a bit of a challenge.
Very excited about Sam. We think he's definitely the best guy, and he's taken what we've done and tried to do with the songwriting and really amplified that. So
for our first night, luckily it was a small rural show, trial by fire. As soon as I was into the first song, the muscle memory comes, and it went really well. The intensity was great, and people just loved it.
We all started moving in that groove direction a little bit, and I think we got a little bit, we stopped feeling constrained about genres and stuff like that. There's one of the new songs has a big, like, I don't know, psychedelic jam out kind of thing. Somehow we made it work really well. But those were the kinds of things that started coming out once we started just sort of being a bit freer about it.
Elements of the band I've worked on all in different bands, but never as a combination like this, which it makes it the biggest challenge. It's pretty easy to be inspired watching how hard these guys work and knowing how they put themselves through the ringer before they've even shown it to you.
I hope people listen to it and give it the time to appreciate just the amount of nuance and subtlety that the boys, especially Nick, Rob and Ben, have just put into music. It's a lot more layered. There's a little bit of something for everyone, hopefully.
Bit of brain food. Fuck knows I need it.
For the most part, for drummers, it's pretty frustrating being told, play it again, play it different, play it again. It just wears them out.
We want to keep trying different things. So, it's like, I played a whole shitload of fast technical things on the first album. I'm going to try something different. So I'm just going to play like rock beats and things like that because, that's something different.
Rob's the kind of guy that charts his drums. There's probably been a handful of guys that I've had that are as technically intense as Rob is.
More groove, more heavy, more atmosphere, more filth. More filth. Yeah, powered by soup.
I'm pretty much tipping that one.
Yep.
I did a bit of radio rock years ago and it's a job, you know what I mean? And when I work with these bands, and I don't know, it just makes more sense to me and I get more passionate about their music as well, It doesn't matter what job you're doing, if it's on tour, if it's in the studio, if it's live. If you're working with a band, you get along with the guys, the music's great, it will be a better result every time, Doesn't matter what you're using, it's just that synergy, that, the magic in the air that can't be explained or whatever you want to call it.
Everyone's in that mindset of creating something that doesn't sound like something else. More often than not, if someone comes up with something, whether it's drums, guitars, vocals, or anything like that, just on their own, if they go, oh, you know what, this reminds me a bit too much of this, you go in and change it and try and come up with something different and hope that all the parts come together, which I think they have.
Very thorough. This is good.